Hello and welcome. This is Gordon D'Silva, author of Sell More, Make More, a book packed with over 50 proven methods to increase sales and profits in your owner-managed business. Remember to give yourself the quiet time and space to consider the comments and content carefully and create an action plan to implement this into your business. Each idea could easily be worth a minimum of £1,000 per month to your profitability, often much more. Today we're going to be talking about SWOT and the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities and Threats. The SWOT analysis is an amazing tool. It is probably one of the most underrated tools that the business person has at their disposal, and it is completely free, unlike things like accounting software and payroll software and all the other stuff. So the SWOT analysis is ultimately free because it's you thinking about it. Now, of course, there's various ways of increasing the value you get from SWOT, but let me just say this to you, right? Just so you understand how important this is. In every single SWOT meeting we've had with a client, we have been able to increase the client's profit as a result, direct result of the thinking and action plan we came out of from the SWOT by a minimum, absolute minimum of £10,000 a year. Now that's a recurring income, £10,000 a year, 10 years, £100,000. And that, I promise you, is the absolute minimum for a really small company. So if your company is anything other than a micro business, you could do much better than that. Again, we've had results of over £50,000, £100,000 attributed in no small part to the SWOT work we did with the client at the beginning of the strategic process with them. So please, just because you've heard it before makes no difference, right? This is an important tool. If you use it right, it is money in the bank, and you could use it right now. So let's talk about the 4 key steps in getting the SWOT analysis done and dusted. You've really got to challenge your thinking though, right? And if you think the way you've always thought, then you're going to get the results you've always got. So your thinking, your beliefs, your thought process all have to be challenged because they are a matter of habit. If you don't have to think about how to put your shirt on in the morning, or how to brush your teeth, or how to drive to work, or how to cross the road. Those things are all habitual. And the same with many of the things you do in your business, most of it is habitual, unfortunately. And so what we need to do when we do the SWOT analysis is take that away and think of it anew. And there are a few ways of doing that. And the most powerful way is, of course, getting somebody independent to do it with you. So of these 4 elements in the SWOT analysis, and SWOT, remember, stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. So let's look at strengths first. Your strengths may be your skills, so make sure you understand your skills. These have probably changed since you last did a SWOT, even if you did it 6 months ago. So that's why we would regularly do SWOTs with clients every 6 months, because your skills and a whole load of things within your business have changed between then and now. Consider what new specialisms you've taken on. Maybe you have a team, and within the team, they have an interest or specialist skills. Look to maximize the use of those. Consider the business values. Sometimes we put too little emphasis on what we stand for. So, for example, our business, we stand for honesty and clear speaking, right? We want to get things done fast, and we want to get things done right. Now, if we don't agree with something, we're going to tell the client straight. We try to cushion it as best as we can, but it's more important we get you the truth of what we believe, rather than thinking, well, you might be upset and sack us. If you sack us because we tell you the truth, then that we deserve it. Absolutely fine, no problem with that. But that is the only way we do business. That is one of our core values. One of the other core values we have is to make sure we support our clients, no matter what, whether they take our advice or not. We will support them 100%. That is, again, core to what we do. That's a strength for us. That's a strength that clients like about working with us. So what are the values that you have? They may well be part of your strengths. Your competitors may be a strength. If your competitors are pretty sleepy, not very technologically advanced, they're not very client centric, they could, having poor competitors could be a big plus. For example, in the location I was once located in, there was a whole load of accountants within a very short distance, and the accountancy firm I ran just shone out like a beacon of light because we were just so different. We were not the same price, of course, we were more expensive, but clearly we offered much more value. They just knocked out numbers without thought, maybe, and a lot of the time. We gave clients, a more personal service. We look after them in a more detailed way and gave them better value, and as a result, they grew their business more because of that. So poor competitors can actually be a strength rather than a threat, right? So be aware of that. Weaknesses. What could be some of your weaknesses? It could be that things that you're not very good at. It may be if your weakness is paperwork, then don't take on a strategy that involves a huge amount of paper and loads of transactions. If you're not very good with people, then don't have a customer service business where you have a lot of customer facing type work, because that's going to show up. Consider more of an online one where you can manage the customer service automatically by automation. So those are the sort of things you want to think about when you're sort of looking at weaknesses. What resources do you have? Maybe you're short of cash. Maybe you're short of time. Maybe you're short of team members. Those resources are things that may be a weakness to you. So and may pose, as we come to look at it, a threat in due course. Maybe your technology is a bit of a weakness. Maybe you haven't got the latest technology. Maybe you don't embrace cloud computing as much as your clients would want you to. So that could be a weakness. And if you want to know more about cloud computing, of course you can talk to us. One of the programs we run with clients is bringing them up to skill with technology, because we believe and have proved it is of fundamental importance in maximizing efficiency, minimizing costs, improving customer service. There's a whole raft of things that improve because of technology. So, for example, now we look on taking clients who only understand that we communicate best using technology. Rather than drive to meetings, we have Skype meetings, we have video call meetings, and of course we meet face to face. But the bulk of our routine business is taken care of on Skype meetings and on phone meetings. And we need that technology because it's safe, it's quick, and it saves cost and saves time, delivers magic service. There is also some disadvantages you may have. Maybe where you're located. Again, your competition may be very, very good in the area you are. One of the things I remember when driving around America more than the UK is that you come across areas which are just packed with car dealers. Everywhere you look, there's a whole range of car dealers in one area. And I used to think when I first went there, so 20 years ago, that was a problem. But what I began to realize that it's actually a benefit. When people are looking for a car, they just know they head into that area and they've got a whole load of choice, which means people come to that area for cars. And so you get more traffic because of it. There are other areas, and you'll probably be familiar with them. And for example, Covent Garden is one, and there's a whole range of. In every city, there's a Chinatown. This is where people congregate for meals and for different types of food and different types of experiences. That could be an advantage. And if you're not there, it may be a disadvantage if that's your trade and you want to have the advantage of having just passing trade drop in, because there's just lots of people in the area for that type of service. So what are the weaknesses you have? There's a whole. This conversation typically would take half a day with clients. So please, if you are thinking of doing this while you're listening to this, you're going to sell yourself short and your business short. You're going to end up with poorer results as a result of it, rather than the in excess of £10,000 I promised you earlier. Maybe your business size is a weakness. Some people think that because they're not big enough, that's a weakness. Sometimes I think that's a strength. Sometimes people think they're too big, and sometimes I think that could be a strength. So, you have what you have. Be aware of it, and then part of this SWOT analysis to do something about the weaknesses to the extent you can without major cost. Okay, we don't want to be being focused too hard on weaknesses. We'd rather maximize strengths and opportunities, but we want to be aware of weaknesses so we can defend ourselves, against any threat on those weaknesses. Then, of course, the opportunities. There are so many opportunities there all the time. The world is full of opportunities for every type of market, for every type of business. In every industry, in every market, there are winners and losers. There are a few who do really well. There are a whole load that are in mediocrity, and there are a few who are pretty poor, and most of them go out of business very quickly. The ones in mediocrity tend to survive 5 to 10 years. Many businesses, 90% on statistics, will fail within 10 years. Now, that is a sad statistic, because coming with it is all the pain and heartache and loss of money and worry and stress that comes with it. So, just be aware that if other people can do well, if you haven't done a benchmarking analysis that we do with clients, then consider getting one done, because it'll tell you how your competition's doing. Because if you believe you're doing the best you can, and then you can see your competition in your market, in your size, in your geography are doing twice as well as you, then you can't use the excuse of, well, I'm doing the best anyone could, because then you know that somebody is doing better than you are, and you can then start challenging yourself to do better. So look at the markets that's available to you. Now we're in global markets, aren't we? We can trade anywhere in the world. We can have clients in Australia as I do, and Canada as I do, and the US as I do. These markets weren't really open easily 20 years ago. They were very hard to get into, whereas now it's almost commonplace. So be aware of those opportunities available to you in different markets. As I said, the geography could be an opening to you. Consider education. One of the things that I always consider to be an opportunity for me is educating myself by the best. I'm always looking to be mentored by the best and coached by the best. If my coach isn't earning at least as much as I am or better than I am, then I really have to be concerned that I've picked the wrong person. If my coach is not running a business themselves, or hasn't run a very successful business themselves, then I've got to again think, how are they going to advise me in my business if they haven't run a successful business? Everyone knows theory. You know theory. I know theory. It's applying the stuff that really makes a difference. And if your coach doesn't apply it and has great success, then why are they teaching you? Right? All they can teach you is theory. They haven't really learned how to apply it. They haven't gone through the school of hard knocks and sharpened their saw against the experience of actually doing it. So consider how you could get educated to do better. There's so much opportunity in that area. And of course, the opportunity in running a more efficient business. We talked about technology. We haven't talked yet about leverage, but we will in due course. Amazing opportunities of leverage. I see so many clients who are so busy so much of the time, and it's really because they're doing the wrong things, and they just haven't got time to think it through. We run a program for helping clients leverage their skills and their time to make them more efficient, more effective. And of course, threats. This is again an important. It's one of the 4 areas, so it's important. Of course, it's important. Your competition may be a threat if you have lots of people coming on an internet. For example, one of the markets we specialize in the recruitment market, there's a whole load of internet providers coming in, which are driving the cost down. Clients are getting pickier. They're getting harder to pin down. People are getting busy, and so competition is of major importance. People can go on the web now, and within 30 seconds they can find, if you type into Google recruitment companies, you'll get 1 million hits. If you type in solicitors, you get 1 million hits. If you type in accountants, you get 1 million hits. It's not hard to find these people anymore. And by a click of the button, you're in their face, and with another click, you're out. So how does your website, for example, hold and keep clients? Is it an engaging website? Are you engaging with your audience, or do they come in 7 seconds of the average time spent and they're gone because it isn't engaging? They're on to the next one. Consider regulation. I remember when I ran an accountancy firm, in the 80s, regulation one year changed by surprise. We knew it was coming. We thought it was 3-4 years off. Suddenly it was upon us, and we lost 50% of our business at a stroke. Now, the good news is we had built the other part of the business to take over that, and we weren't hurt very badly at all. A lot of accountants just went out of business because that's all they did. And when they didn't have a business because regulation changed, the law changed, they were gone. And with all, again, the hassle, heartache, the stress that goes with going out of business. We've talked about that. Technology may be a threat. Like I said, when we talked about the web, if somebody can do it faster, quicker, easier, then you can, because they're technologically advanced and embracing technology, and you are not. That is a threat. Whether you recognize it or not right now, hopefully now I've mentioned it, you do recognize it. So be completely aware that technology is a threat. And again, there's a whole host. Like I said, we do these things in half a day rather than 15 minutes, and so there's a whole load of things that we can't talk of right now. And of course, one of the threats may be the resources available to you. You may not have enough team members. You may not be able to get hold of the right skills. You may not have enough time. You may not have enough money to do the expansion or develop your business the way you want. Everyone is dealt with certain cards, and you've got to do the best you can with what you've got. And that's what building a successful business and creating your success story is all about. So be aware of that. So let's look at 5 SWAT principles. Now, you've talked about what the SWAT does. Let's look at the principles of making your £10,000 out of it. We've already covered a lot of these, so it'll take a few minutes. The first one is, of course, space. Give yourself time to think about it. Like I said, we take at least half a day with every client when we run one of these SWOT analysis, and we come out with at least £10,000 a year benefit. And the number of times we get more than that is far outweighs the number of times we only get 10. Okay, so give yourself the time and the clarity to think about it. Find someone who's going to challenge you, who's going to talk honestly with you about this stuff, because your thinking is your thinking. It's really hard to think like somebody else because you think how you think. That's I can't say any more than that. Okay, so find someone who's going to be willing to challenge you. It's unlikely to be your spouse. It's unlikely to be your friends. It's unlikely to be your bank manager. They are probably worried about upsetting you or being too honest with you. If they earn money from you, they'll be upset about losing your business. Find someone who really is independent in all of that, okay, who's willing to challenge you and make sure they can talk honestly with you. So independence is really critical to that, because if they're working in your business within your resources and constraints, they're going to be thinking like you. So your team members will be thinking like you. They'll again wouldn't want to challenge you too hard. Okay, so just be aware of that. And of course, we have the next really key bit is strategy, because the number of clients I've visited who've done a SWOT analysis and end up doing nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. They do it and they go, hey, that was really interesting, fantastic. They put it away and do something completely different. And before you know it, the daily routine, the daily grind has got the better of them, and that's all they do. You've got to take this information and then build a strategic plan out of it. If you don't do that, then you're going to get less than full value from doing the process. If you do, on the other hand, take it to the strategic level, you can then multiply the benefits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay, so that's amazing. And probably the most powerful bit is accountability. Right? Be accountable to someone. Tell someone you're going to do something by a certain date and a certain time, and who's going to do it and what it's going to look like. And because you're accountable to them and because they follow up with you, you will get it done much faster, and nothing will sidetrack you. Where you're not accountable, life gets in the way. Like, it happens to everyone. It happens to the best of us. It takes an extraordinary character, and I hope you're one of those. But unfortunately, 99.5% of us are not those extraordinary characters. We need accountability. When I have accountability with my coaches, I achieve 3 times as much as in periods when I don't. So please do not underestimate the value and power of accountability in your business. So there you have it. Another proven technique that we use with clients that generates more profits in their business. We have also proven these ideas in our own business, and now you can implement it in your business. If you like the topic and our coverage of it, please click the like button on this page, or simply put a comment in the box below. Please consider sharing it, linking to it, and helping your friends and colleagues and associates benefit from the same information. Visit successstorybuilder.com for show notes, resources, and further help. I help business owners accelerate their business growth. Learn more about our services on our website. Attend one of our profit-boosting online workshops for free, or consider using our 15-minute quick fix helpline. For non-clients, this is limited to 1 call a year. We help create your success story. Get even more help and resources when you connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Take good care of yourself and your business. Speak to you on the next episode of Sell More, Make More. Goodbye.